The redevelopment of Regent Park has sparked concerns about employment opportunities for the community and also some questions on whether the current employment resources are adequately servicing the needs of residents. In order to understand those needs better, the SDP Employment and Economic Development Working Group is launching an online survey designed to examine what's working, what is needed, and what can be improved. In today's episode of RPTV News, we talk to Ayesha Amin, a community researcher with SDP Employment and Economic Development Working Group. Hello, my name is Aisha Khan and I'm with RPTV. Today we're here to talk about Regent Park. Now, there's been a lot of changes that have taken place in the community, which is what we want to talk about. How to help the community as it continues to grow, and also to make sure the needs of the community are met. Employment in the community is an area we want to understand a little bit deeper. It's one of the top priorities in the social development plan. The Employment and Economic Development Working Group, the EED, is one of the groups in the social development plan. And so I have here with me today, Ayesha Amin. Now, Aisha, you are involved in doing some community research in Regent Park. But before I get to that, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you got involved with helping the EED working group?
Yeah, so I've worked and volunteered in Regent sort of on and off for over the last decade or so, in different capacities at different places, starting during phases 1 and 2 of the revitalization. It always impressed me just how much community spirit there was here, that I'd personally never seen or witnessed or experienced in any other community anywhere else. So I really love the area, and I have for a very long time. And then in 2017, my family moved here, so I'm now a resident. And I also have a background in community development and working in diverse communities in Toronto, elsewhere in Ontario, as well as internationally. So I felt that I really had the knowledge and experience that I could bring to the working group to help carry out some community research that they're undertaking, and to help form a strategy on how the working group can move forward to help address some of the needs around employment and economic opportunities in the area.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the EED and why members feel that employment is a concern in the community?
Yeah, so part of why the EED exists is to ensure that the transformation of this community doesn't only end up in the beautiful skyline, but also that there's sustainable employment and economic opportunity for residents. So employment is, employment is vital to one's livelihood, right? So to be able to focus on other elements of your life in this society without a reliable income, all other elements of life become difficult and sometimes unmanageable. So employment and economic opportunities are really crucial, and just as crucial as any other social priority. So time and time again, people have said that one of the main things that they want are job opportunities. And there are many services and supports and opportunities in the area, but there's also barriers and challenges in many forms that sometimes prevent or impede people's ability to access opportunities. So what we're trying to understand is what residents want, so that way we can try and address whatever needs and wants remain. So specifically, we're trying to understand what resources there are in the neighborhood in terms of employment and job opportunities, as well as supports and services. But we're also trying to understand what needs remain to be addressed around employment, job opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities for residents. So what challenges do residents face when looking for employment or when accessing agencies for support? One of the things that makes Regent such a diverse community, or such an amazing community, is its diversity. So that also means that there are many, many different experiences and both positive and negative feelings and experiences. So we want to hear about these experiences, because this is how we'll find out what residents feel is working, as well as with what they want in terms of moving forward. Because if we don't know what people still need and what people want, then we can't do anything. But if people tell us what they want and what they need, then we can work to try and make those things happen.
Fair. So you talk a lot about understanding their needs and understanding their challenges. How are you going to determine, how are you going to get that information from them?
So, well, because the community is so diverse and everyone has different experiences and faces different challenges, in order to be able to understand that, especially right now where there's social restrictions, we're launching an online survey. So that'll be available very soon, and it'll be an opportunity for residents to respond openly and sort of respond to many different questions online around this question, around employment opportunities, experiences, and challenges. And so by participating in this online survey, they'll also enter into a draw. And the draw will be to win one of 2 Samsung tablets or 20 gift cards. So there's some great opportunity here to both voice your experiences and your wishes and your desires and your opportunities in order to be able to actually help co-create, a future of Regent that residents want to see. And at the same time, there's some great incentives to participate in this survey.
And so tell us a little bit more about how this survey will help your work.
So the survey is primarily it's meant to give residents a voice. So the opportunity, again, is for residents to be able to tell us when it comes to employment or entrepreneurship or anything around economic opportunities. What do I know? What do I like? What do I not like? What do I need? Right. So this survey, as I say, it's going to be accessible online and it's going to be anonymous. And it's anonymous so that way people will get the opportunity to really voice anything openly and honestly without worrying about anybody knowing who's saying what. It'll be anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes to take it. And again, we're really trying to get all residents as much as possible around Regent to fill it out. And again, this is so that way we can understand it's such a diverse community. There's different experiences. What is a full picture? So that means, we want to make sure that people who are able to access it online access it, but also people who aren't able to access it online or people who don't want to take it in English. We're doing it. We're making the survey available in 9 different community languages. And as I said, it is online, but there'll also be an option for people to request that it be a print form or be done over the phone. So there's a lot of different opportunities here. And all the information, as I say, is going to then feed into the EED strategy moving forward over the next few years. So that way, we can make sure that over the next few years, in the next phases, all of the needs that remain to be addressed actually get responded to, as well as not sort of reinventing the wheel. So what works, we don't need to necessarily redo because there's things that work. What doesn't work yet, we need to make sure we address that. And that's really what this is about, is telling us what is working and what isn't working. So that way we get, again, a very broad picture from everybody in the community. And on top of the online survey, we're also going to be running 2 focus groups and some one-on-one interviews to get some more in-depth, more detailed responses from people to really hear about their experiences and wishes to a greater extent, to really give them the opportunity to talk about it more than you can do on, an online survey. So there'll be further prizes for anybody who wants to participate in a focus group or one-on-one interview. And again, this is just to get that narrative from people about what they're experiencing and what their suggestions are, and that will also all remain anonymous. And all of this information at the end will go into a report, which will be made available to the community as well. So in order to enter into the focus group or the interview, people can fill in the online survey. And once they're done there, there's an option to participate in a focus group or a one-on-one interview. And as I said, there'll be further draws for further gift certificates for anybody who participates in those as well.
And how will this survey help Regent Park residents? So I get that there's incentives and prizes, but why should they care to complete it?
Well, so I suppose, as I've said, the more responses we get, the more information we'll have, and the more representative it'll be of the diverse voices within the community. And so we can take that, in order to build a proper picture of what is working and what is not working, we need to get responses, because that really is, we need to make sure that all voices are heard, not just, the voices that are more easily heard. So really, this working group works for all residents, okay, within the community. So in order to be able to take into consideration the needs of all residents, we really need a broad response. And again, this really is an opportunity to make needs and voices heard in a way that we might be able to actually push forward into our strategy to address them. Because again, without knowing what residents still need, we want to make sure we can't actually move forward in terms of addressing them, right? So to build that picture, it really, really is not, it's about being able to, again, create together as a community and actually be able to build a picture that we can then make sure that at the end of the revitalization, again, we're not just a bunch of beautiful buildings, but we actually have the opportunities for a thriving community that continue to develop over the next many years. And that's really why, the incentives are a great way for people to know that by doing this, by participating in these surveys, there is an opportunity to win some great prizes, but at the same time, and really importantly, you are also contributing to your community, to something that's, a really, really important element of the community. And this is, again, not just for job seekers, underemployed and unemployed. It's for retired people, it's for working people, it's for students, it's for everybody. We want to make sure that everybody's voices are heard, because this is really what we want to do, is we work for the community. We want to make sure that we are hearing from the community. And so it really is, again, an opportunity to make your voice heard around employment and economic opportunities and needs.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is a lot of, you want to do what works for them. So in order to do that, you need to understand what works for them so that you can do it. Because without that information, you can't build what they need and you can't meet their needs. So I get that. So you talked a little bit about being online. How will the residents find these results that you talked about of the survey? And what can they expect in the community once the survey's been completed and the information's been gathered?
So, okay, so I suppose right now the phase we're at is the survey is going to be launched very, very soon, and people should be able to find out about it online. There's going to be flyers and posters around the community. So in terms of what's going to happen afterwards, a lot of it does depend on the information that we find out through it. But what's going to happen immediately is the information is going to be collected. The survey will be online until about mid-December, when the interviews and focus groups, all of that will end by then. Then we'll analyze the data and put together a report for the social development plan and the working group. And this report's going to be available for anyone in the community who wants to see it. So residents, agencies, entrepreneurs, and the report will include the findings from the survey, as well as recommendations on how the needs that we find out through the data from the survey can be addressed. So much of this will be, again, based on the information that residents provide, which again is why it's so important that people be given the opportunity to openly voice their experiences and their needs and wants within this online survey, within the focus groups and interviews, because that'll go into the report as well as the strategy moving forward for the EED. So the report will be available, will be made again once this survey is done. So probably in early 2021, it'll be made available.
And when can residents expect to see a plan from the results? Do you have a time frame?
No. So again, this because COVID sort of delayed things. So this survey, again, the first thing we need to do is get the data, which will then be analyzed and put into a report. And that report, as I said, it'll be sometime in 2021, early 2021. But unfortunately, COVID and social restrictions and not being able to engage community members and agencies as easily has delayed everything, as it has with most things that are going on. So the aim is for early 2021, but I can't give you an exact time frame.
That's fair. And Aisha, how can people contact you for more information?
Yeah, so there's an email that anybody can email us to either request more information or an alternative format for the survey. And the email is eed.sdpgroup@gmail.com. So that stands for Employment Economic Development .sdp, Social Development Plan Group@gmail.com. Or they can call. The phone number they can call is 416-929-9614, extension 4620. And just make sure to leave a very clear voicemail with a name, contact, and the question or request. So that way we can get back to them with either a print copy of the survey or a phone call around the survey. And then in terms of accessing the survey, just look out for it. There's going to be flyers around the community. It'll be blasted on different social media accounts around the area, around the neighborhood, and posted, and it'll be again available later this month.
All right, and there you have it. Thank you so much, Aisha, for your time. For more information on the survey, you can go to RPTV and we'll update the site as we get more information.
Please do not forget to like, comment, and share to our channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And for more information, please check out our website.